I'm going to try to explain what is direct translation technique. Direct translation techniques are used when structural and conceptual elements of the source language can be transposed into the target language. Direct translation techniques include borrowing, calque, and literal translation. So now we're going to try to speak about borrowing. Borrowing is the taking of words directly from one language into another language. Translation: many English words are borrowed into other languages. For example, software is the field of technology and funk in the culture. English is also borrows numerous words from other languages. Borrowed words are often printed in italics when they are considered to be foreign. For example, we had sentences: I went to buy a CD. En español significa yo fui a comprar un CD. And the second example is I took a DVD that was on the table. En español significa, obviamente, yo tomé un DVD que estaba en la mesa. Well, a calque in linguistics. A calque is actually a word or phrase borrowed from another language. Bilateral word for word translation. The term calque is borrowed from French and it is derived from the verb calquer, which means to copy. To trace more specifically, we use the verb to calque when speaking about borrowing a word or phrase from another language, while translating its components so as to create a new lexicon in the largest language. For example, I watched the movie. Yo watché la película. En español podemos ver en watché como un calco de watched. I rode on the bike. Yo paseé en la bike, como algunas veces se dice en español, al menos aquí en El Salvador. Literal translation. A word for word translation can be used in some languages and not others dependent on the sentence structure. For example, el equipo está trabajando para terminar el informe. I will translate into English as the team is working to finish the report. Another example could be I am 15 years old. Yo tengo 18 años, literalmente. Bueno, no yo, porque tengo 25. Well, oblique translation. Oblique translation techniques are used when the structural or conceptual elements of source language cannot be directly translated without altering meaning or upsetting the grammatical and stylistic elements of the target language. Oblique translation techniques include transposition, modulation, reformation or equivalence, and adaptation. Transposition. This is the process where parts of speech change their sequence when they are translated. Blue ball becomes bubble blue in French. It is a sense a shift of word. Glass grammatical structures are often different in different languages. Transposition is often used between English and Spanish because of the preferred position of the verb in the sentence. English often has the verb near the beginning of the sentence. Spanish can have it closer to the end. This requires that the translator knows that it is possible to replace a word category in the target language without altering the meaning of the source text. For example, hand knitted in Spanish means tejido a mano, and the second example could be there is a reason for life. Hay una razón para vivir en español. Modulation. Modulation consists of using a phrase that is different in the source and target language to convey the same idea. Te lo dejo means literally I'll leave it to you, but translates better as you can have it. It changes the semantic and shifts the point of view of the source language. Through modulation, the translator generates a change in the point of view of the message without altering meaning and without generating a sense of awkwardness in the reader of the target text. It is often used within the same language. For example, we have sit by the fire means sentarse junto a la chimenea. You are quiet, stranger. No se te ve el pelo. Reformulation or equivalence. Here you have to express something in a completely different way. For example, when translating idioms or advertising slogans, the process is creative, but not always easy. For example, when you have to translate a movie, you have to say the sound of music, and in Spanish is totally different because means La novicia rebelde, and also we have the movie Soul that in Spanish means Juegos Macabros. Well, we have also adaptations. Adaptation occurs when something specific to one language culture is expressed in a totally different way that is familiar or appropriate to another language culture. It is a shift in the cultural environment. Should pincho, a Spanish restaurant menu dish, be translated as kebab in English? It involves changing the cultural reference when the situation in the source culture does not exist in the target culture. Friday 13, for example, means martes 13, or your faithfully means le saluda atentamente.